Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Self-Paced English Learning course. Today, the topic I want to talk about is a very special one. It's about how to change from learners to autonomous learners. 如何从一个学习者变为一个自主学习者 autonomous learners. Okay, I think this topic is especially important for those of you who want to become autonomous learners, because we are all learners. We are learners because we're learning things, right? Okay, we're students, and not just students, teachers are also learners. Okay, we're learning all through our life. But what kind of learners are we? And this is a very important thing we need to know. Once you know how to become autonomous learners, then you can work toward that. Okay, so this is the topic I want to introduce to you today. And let's take a look at the PPT today. From learners to autonomous learners. As I mentioned, there are actually three kinds of learners actually. Okay, some people are learners and some are responsible learners. Responsible, 很负责任的 responsible learners. Usually we consider them as better learners. Okay, and then there's the even higher stage, that's autonomous learners. Okay, so as I mentioned, we are all learners, but are we responsible? Okay, do you usually take responsibility for the result of your learning, or do you blame it on somebody else? Okay, you usually blame, oh, the teacher is too boring, that's why I don't like the class. Or the teaching material is no fun at all. Okay, so we blame our learning result on many other things. Then maybe we're not very responsible. Okay, so we need to move ourselves one stage further from learner to responsible learner. Okay, and the final goal, the ultimate goal, is to become not just responsible learner, but become an autonomous learner. So what's the difference between a responsible learner and an autonomous learner? Let me tell you the details. Okay, so let's take a look. We don't need to take a look at learner that stage because we are all learners, right? Okay, so now I want to show you how to define a responsible learner. Okay, what kind of learners are responsible? And then you can think about yourself and think about whether you are responsible learners or not. Okay, first of all, the first thing is that they understand their own efforts are very important. Okay, if you are a responsible learner, then you understand that although teachers are important, good teachers usually can inspire students to want to learn more. That's very true. But you also understand that your own efforts really crucial to progress in learning. Crucial means very, very important. Okay, you understand that, oh, I need to make efforts, and my own efforts are crucial. Okay, my own efforts. And second thing is that is about teamwork. Teamwork. When you want to learn, a lot of time you learn on your own, right? Okay, but sometimes in class you need to learn in a team. And actually, teamwork is a very important way toward learning, especially if you develop your teamwork ability when you're a student. Then when you go into the workplace, you're going to feel at home. Because in today's workplace, you don't work on your own. You always work in a team, okay? So I've listened to many of my students, their complaints. Okay, they say that, oh, I don't like to learn with this person or that person, but my teacher put us in the same team. Okay, so what about responsible learner? If you are the responsible learner, how do you take a look? How do you view this teamwork? Usually, if you are a responsible learner, that doesn't mean you are very good at teamwork originally. Okay, you might not be good at teamwork, but since you are very responsible, so you know, since my teacher put me in this team, no matter I like this person or not, I have to work together with these people, because you know, when you cooperate, then it's for everybody's benefit. Okay, so you can see the second thing about teamwork is that you might not be good at teamwork at the beginning, but you're willing. This willingness is very important. You're willing to throw away your opinions and work together, cooperate with others, because you know it's for everybody's benefit. Okay, and so this one, you develop your tolerance and you develop your ability to cooperate with different people, and then you're very responsible. Okay, and the third part about responsible learners is that they usually consciously monitor their own progress. This word consciously is important. Okay, a lot of time we do a lot of things without knowing what we're doing. Okay, just like many students, they sit in class, they seem to look at you. Okay, but maybe their mind is wandering somewhere else. Okay, so they're not doing things, they're not learning consciously. And so here, for responsible learners, you no longer be like that. You should consciously monitor your own progress. 你很就是自主性的，而且有意识的去看看自己是不是有进步啊。很多同学他完全不知道自己这样做是不是有进步，然后他就是一直这样子投入。所以我们也看到很多同学花了很多的时间读英文，但是那个进步是很有限的。Then you need to consciously think about it. If I spend hours and hours studying English, but I'm not improving, then you have to think about it. Probably I'm using the wrong way. I'm using the wrong method. Then you have to consciously change the way you study English, change the way you are with English. Okay, we usually say that you don't study English when you move into a more advanced stage. You play with English. Okay, so consciously, very important. How can you, what does this mean? Consciously monitor your own progress. First one, you use every opportunity to improve the thing you're learning. Every opportunity. Like here at NCU, you're very lucky. Again, I said that many times. Because here at NCU, we provide wonderful resources for you. We have Self-Paced English Learning Center, 自学中心, and Reading Corner, 阅读坊. Besides, we have wonderful human resources. 在这两个地方，我们都有很多这个自学 tour guides. Okay? And then you ask them questions and see which materials is best for you. And also, there are many activities through the semester. So many activities for speaking, for reading, for listening, everything. So do you use every opportunity to help yourself to improve? Okay, if you are a responsible learner, you will do that. You know that, oh, there are so many opportunities, I'll make use of them. Okay, like English Cafe and English Corner. They are there for you to improve your speaking. 这两个非常好的活动，练习你的口说的。Do you go there very often? Or do you say, no, it's not for me because I'm so scared. I'm afraid of speaking English. Come on, you learn English, you want to improve your speaking, but if you don't go to these kind of activities, how can you improve your English speaking, right? Okay? Some students will say that I'll wait until I can speak more fluently, then I'll go. Well, what's the cause effect, right? You have to go first and then develop your fluency. If you only talking to yourself is a way to practice speaking for sure, but you also need to have real people where you can practice interaction. Okay, so please remember, use every opportunity to improve the things you're learning, like English. Okay, so this one, very important one. And what about homework? Okay, if you are a responsible learner, do you always do your homework? Maybe not, okay? According to the definition, it says that maybe sometimes you still miss your homework. You don't do your homework because of this reason or that reason. But whenever that happens, you have the awareness. So again, awareness, very important thing. You are aware that you have missed a very important opportunity to improve yourself. Okay? Most learners, whenever they have the chance not to do the homework, they usually say, hooray, wonderful, I don't have to do the homework, right? They feel very happy for that. But if you're a responsible learner, whenever you miss your homework, you will not act like that. You will understand, doing homework is actually a very good chance for me to improve my English ability. If by any reason I miss my homework, I have the awareness that, oh, I missed the opportunity. Then I have to do something else to make it up, okay? So when we talk about this definition about responsible learners, first one is about your own efforts. Second one is about your teamwork, the attitude toward teamwork. And third one is about consciously monitoring your progress. That makes me think of my students, okay? Sometimes some students are absent, okay? And the next week they will come to me and say, Grace, I'm sorry. 还不错会说 sorry. So I'm sorry, I was not here last week, so I didn't know what I should prepare for this class. That's what most students would say to their teacher after their absence, okay? But think about it. If you are a responsible learner, then you will not say anything like that in the future, because you're responsible. You missed the class, and you know that you have missed a lot. Okay, maybe 2 hours of learning or 3 hours of learning. Okay, so before you go to the next week's class, you should prepare yourself. You should try your best. Okay, try your best. You can email your classmates or write to your teacher and ask about what you should prepare before you come to the class next week. It's not that, oh, I was absent, so I didn't know anything. That's not the right kind of attitude, okay? So I hope you have to at least move yourself from an ordinary learner to a responsible learner. Then you know that you need to make efforts, and your efforts are important, and you should consciously monitor your own progress. It's not that you just sit in the class for one semester, and then after the semester you say, oh, my English is not improving, I'm not learning anything. 好像觉得都是 it's the teacher's fault, it's the teacher's responsibility. No, it's not like that. Okay, your own efforts, it's your responsibility to make yourself become better learners. Okay, so this is about responsible learners. And we said that there's one more stage, right? You move one stage further and you become an autonomous learner. Autonomous learners are apparently a higher level. Then what's the difference between responsible learners and autonomous learners? Let's take a look at the next slide. Autonomous learners, very simple. Also 3 things. First one, active role, very active. I just mentioned that you consciously monitor your own progress, right? Okay? If you want to become an autonomous learner, move one stage further, then you have to take a very active role in your own learning. You don't wait until your teacher tells you what to do. You don't wait until your problem is solved by somebody else. You solve the problems by taking some active measures to solve the problem. We mentioned problem solving also, right? As an autonomous learner, you need to know how to solve your problems on your own, okay? And so here, active role. Active role means what? It says here, I like this definition very much. It says, you realize and accept the idea. What idea? It says here, success in learning depends as much on the student as on the teacher. Okay, you want to be successful in your own learning? Then you don't depend on the teacher only. Okay, so this is the meaning of this whole class. I mentioned at the beginning of the class that in this class is very special because I'm not the teacher in this class. I'm a facilitator. You design your own syllabus, your study plan, you choose your own materials, you decide how fast you want to learn and which skill of English language you want to learn, listening, speaking, reading, writing. You decide everything, and then you do it according to your own schedule. I'm just there to help you. A facilitator means helper, right? Okay, I'm there to help you. Maybe there's something wrong because you bite more than you can chew. Okay, you want to do too many things and study too much in one semester. Then I'm going to give you some suggestions or guidance. Okay, but still, you need to take the very active role because you want to reach your goal, right? Okay, on your syllabus, each one of you design your own goal. Maybe your goal is to score more than 750 on the TOEIC exam, or maybe your goal is to be able to speak with ease with foreign people. Okay, so different people has different goals. You achieve your goal. How can you achieve your goal? You have to take a very active role. Okay, sometimes I mentioned, sometimes students are too hard on themselves. Okay, they blame themselves very much if they fall behind the schedule. Okay, but some students are the opposite. They're too nice to themselves. Okay, they fall behind the schedule and they say, oh, it's okay because this week is midterm week. Of course, I don't have time to do that. Next week's my best friend's birthday week, so I have to go celebration. Okay, too nice on yourself. You don't take active role, then you won't be able to benefit a lot from your self-paced English learning. Okay, so you have to take a very active role, and you understand if you want to be successful, it's not just the teacher's job. And that's why in this class, I say I'm not a teacher. Okay, I'm the facilitator. You, the student, share 50% or even more of the result of your success. Okay, you want to be successful, you have to take the responsibility. Okay, take a very active role. I see some students who improve very fast in one semester because they complete 100 hours of self-study. 一个学期完成100小时的英语自学，你能相信吗？哦，怎么会这么的了不起？ They take a very active role. And of course, that's also because NCU has prepared a lot of things for you, a lot of activities, a lot of resources for you. Okay? So if you really want to improve your English, here at NCU, you're not alone. There are a lot of people, a lot of great activities waiting for you to share their experience and to offer you wonderful things. Okay, so active role, very, very important. So sometimes I see my freshman English students, okay? And then I wouldn't blame them because when they were in high school, they spent too much time studying. And that's why once they enter college, they want to have fun. Okay, usually the first semester, fourth semester is okay. But spring semester, you see a lot of students, they just don't want to learn. Okay, they come to class and then you can see their motivation, very low motivation. But the same student, when they become junior or senior students, you're going to see their motivation is going to become higher. Why? Because they see the needs there. They're going to graduate very soon, in 1 year or 2 years. And they suddenly feel the heat is on, okay? And they find out that they need the language very much. And then motivation comes back again. And they're going to learn for themselves. I think that's the most important thing. They don't learn for their parents or for their teacher or for good grades or for a very beautiful score on this test or that test. No, they learn the language for their own. And the motivation is marvelous. You see many students finish 100 hours of self-study in one semester. They take a very active role and they can improve very fast. Okay, so active role. And how can you give yourself the motivation? Just like I mentioned, the same student, freshman year, junior year, senior year, very different motivation. Give yourself a reachable goal. 我觉得目标真的很重要哈。 给自己一个短期可达成的目标，你的 motivation 就会出现。Motivation is gonna be there because you want to reach the goal. Like some student wants to become exchange students. NCU has the exchange student program, and they want to become an exchange student. They need to like score this much and that much on this test and that test. Then they want to do that. Okay, so think about it. 不要给自己一个很虚无缥缈的目标，什么我要 speak better, okay, read better, how better is better, right? This kind of thing is too vague, 太模糊了。Then they won't keep you going. Okay, you need to keep yourself going, and you need to have a very nice goal there. Okay, very important thing. And of course, once you become so it's not that you become an autonomous learners, so you become very active. No, it should be the opposite. Because you become very active, and so little by little you develop yourself and become an autonomous learner. Okay, also active role there. Second thing, also important, reflection. Reflect. Do you reflect on your learning process? I always encourage all my students to reflect on their learning process. Okay, like in your self-paced English learning project, every week for 10 weeks, I want you to write your report, right? Okay, and when you write the report, the last part is reflection. 自己做一个反思 reflection. The reflection part is not for you to reflect on the content of, say, Studio Classroom you have read. Okay, 你不是 reflect 说这一期的 Studio Classroom 讲到 iPhone 的什么进展什么，我不是要你 reflect on the content of the article. I want you to reflect on your learning process. Learning process. Because when you reflect on your learning process, you're going to find out what kind of problems you usually have. Okay, how come you can keep yourself going? How come your motivation drop very quickly? Okay, and then you're going to find out the problems, and then you're going to come up with the solutions. Come up with the solutions for yourself. Other people's solution might not be your solution. Okay, so you understand yourself, different personality. Maybe because I use BBC Learning English, 6-minute English, okay? 6-minute English in BBC Learning English. And I only download one program every week. But I'm a person who likes varieties. So if I only listen to one program over and over in 1 week, that make me feel very bored. Okay, then you're going to find out, that's my problem. And that's because of my personality. Then, in order to sustain my motivation, I should download more programs, not just one program, maybe several, 6 or 5 programs in a week, and I can take turns to listen to different programs, and then I can still feel it's very interesting and I can go on. Okay, so you have to do reflection, understand your problems and find out the solutions, and then if you keep doing this, reflection, talk to yourself, write to yourself, and then you'll be able to find out what's the best way to keep you going all the time, even if it's midterm week. Okay, midterm week, many people think it's impossible to keep your English learning going. But I've seen many students who have been doing the self-paced English learning even in the midterm weeks. How come they can manage to do that? They found out their own methods. Maybe they find that, midterm week, a lot of tense, okay, a lot of anxiety. But I enjoy reading very much, or I enjoy watching TV series very much. 所以 TV series 一集可能只有30分钟，拨一点空看一个影集。You feel relaxed and you can also learn English, keep your English learning going. Okay, so many different ways, but you have to do your own reflection. And the last one is assessment. Assessment. Assessment means that you assess your own progress. Okay? In the responsible learner part, we said that you should consciously monitor your own progress, right? Okay? That's also a kind of assessment. But once you become an autonomous learner, you not only consciously monitor your own progress, you also know how to assess yourself. 一个是有去做，一个知道如何做。How to assess your own progress. How to, for example, at this stage, I think taking an exam is a good way to assess my progress. Then I arrange the time and take the TOEIC exam or TOEFL exam, okay? So taking an exam is a way to assess your progress. But there are many other ways. For example, reading. You can use reading rate to assess your reading ability also. 你是不是读得有越来越快，理解力也越来越好 Okay, assessment. Or you can use like a speaking part. When you talk, do you feel that you talk more fluently and you really enjoy your conversation with your foreign friends? Okay, so there are many different ways to assess your progress. Okay, so like in this class, at the beginning of the semester, I asked you to do a pre-test, right? Use the TOEIC exam, TOEIC online exam to do the pre-test. And then at the end of the semester, I also asked you to do a post-test. And then at the end, you compare the score. There are students whose score improves a lot. Okay, pre-test, post-test improves a lot, the score. But there are also some other students whose score are even lower. Okay, the score for the post-test is lower than the pre-test. Okay, and then at this moment, you're going to see the difference. Some students will start to complain and feel very bad about themselves. They'll say, oh, I worked so hard for one semester and my score is not improving, it's even lower. Oh, I'm a very bad learner. And then they start to blame themselves and have a lot of negative thoughts about themselves. Okay, so you see this kind of learner there. But you also see another kind of learner. Okay, they might say, okay, my score is lower, but I understand why. For example, I still remember one of my students in 自学课, like 2 years ago. Her major was chemical material and engineering, 化材系的一个同学，非常好的一个学习者啊。Her post-test score was lower than her pre-test score, and I asked her, "Do you know how to interpret this score?" 你怎么解释哈？说你怎么看待这个分数？ And she was still very happy and very bright, and she said, "I understand why." And I asked her why, and she said that because you see, TOEIC exam only tests your reading and listening ability. And then she said that my goal for this semester was speaking. So I spent a lot of time with my friends. We watch TV series together, and then we spend time doing role playing or practice the meaningful chunks from the TV series. And I also went to the English corner or English cafe, and then she said, I feel much better about my English speaking ability. I feel that I can speak much more fluently than before, and I think I have reached my goal. Okay, so that's very beautiful, isn't it? Okay, she knows how to assess her own improvement, and she built up confidence. Most students, when they see their post-test score is lower, they feel very, very bad, and they feel that they are a loser or that's a failure. Okay, but you can see good learners, they can see things differently. They can see how actually they have improved. Okay, and if really your goal is to improve your reading, and your post-test score reading part is lower, still you can evaluate it. You can interpret it in a very positive way. That is, at least you know the method you have been using for this semester is wrong. Okay, then you know that you should change a different way. You should get help at this moment. You should get help, go to a teacher or go to friends who have been doing reading very successfully. And then the experience is positive because it at least helps you to know how to improve your reading in the future. Okay, learning is a very long way. It's lifelong learning. Okay, so see if you know how to assess yourself, then you will be able to become an autonomous learners, active role, do reflection and do assessment and know how to do assessment, how to evaluate your own improvement. Okay. So the information I use in this PPT is taken from this very, very wonderful book. It's called Learner Autonomy, a guide to developing learner responsibility. Okay, and I hope after this topic, you understand and you evaluate yourself whether you are just an ordinary learner or you're moving and becoming a responsible learner, or even better, you're becoming an autonomous learner. Okay, so constantly think about it, and then you can certainly work on the right path and become a wonderful autonomous learner. Okay, so now let's take a break, then we're going to come back and talk about something else. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. 那我们现在休息一下好了，哈。